we're going to come to lying on our back, using a belt. I don't have a belt here, but I've got a substitute for a belt, which is like a snood. And you might want something under the head so that you're, you know, in a sort of very comfortable, supported position. And then bring your head down, let your back settle. You can let the feet go wide so the knees drop in. You can bring your hands onto your belly. And we're just, before we do anything, we're going to connect with our breath. So breathing in and out through the nose. And sensing the movement of the breath in the body, just observing the breath in the body, the rise and fall of the belly, the rise and fall of the ribs, the lift of the chest. So it's nasal breathing in and out through the nose. A deep in-breath into the lower ribs, into the belly, and a slow out-breath. So we're lingering a little bit on the out-breath if you can. So we'll start with a gentle stretch. Bring the knee in. So you're picking up the knee, and we're going to take the hands, interlace them so they come behind the back of the thigh. So you're creating like a hammock for the back of the thigh. And then drop the leg back into the hands. So what we're trying to do is relax the weight of the leg completely into the support of the hand. So the foot is just, you can let it dangle a little bit, the leg, the foot. And what we're doing is we're simulating a point at the back of the leg. It's a point called hold and support on the bladder meridian. And we use this point to release tension and pain in the lower back. So if you can really, sort of drop the weight and feel some pressure back from the hands into the back of the thigh, maybe there's also a corresponding sensation up into the lower back, into the lumbar. And if you're not feeling it, don't worry, you can imagine it, visualize it, see it as an imaginary exercise, because that also works really well. We can bring the knee in now, so we're the knees, sort of the legs supporting itself, and then just use the hands to press into the midline of the back of the thigh. So where we want to put pressure is on the crease where the buttock meets the thigh. And we're just going to press in here. That's more active pressure. Hold and support, it's called in Chinese. Oh, the translation from the Chinese acupuncture. And the bladder also has this role with the adrenaline. So if you're in overdrive, if you're kind of highly stressed and overreaching yourself, not just physically, but mentally, then we work the bladder to kind of calm things down. So it's not just a physical thing. So we're going to straighten up that leg now, but keep a little softness in the knees so we're not holding it rigid. And we're going to move our hands, they're still interlaced, move them up, gently squeezing the back of the leg, coming all the way up towards the ankle. And it's quite gentle and it should feel good, it should feel enjoyable. This is not very nurturing touch, but nonetheless effective, because hopefully if there's any discomfort or pain or tension in the tissue, this touch will release and heal it, help heal it. So let's make it a little bit stronger. So that's more, kind of very gentle, nurturing. We're going to use our belt now, loop it over the ball of the foot. Spread the toes and flex the foot and push out through the heel and the ball of the foot. And then we can go, intermittently into a strong stretch, maybe straightening the leg, and then a very sort of much more relaxed position where we bend the knee, and the knee can drop in towards the chest or belly area. So let's just do a few of these movements. Bending the knee, straightening up, bending, straightening up. And bring the breath into this. So if the knee's coming into the belly, it makes sense to kind of breathe out as you bring the knee in to help with that exhale. And as you straighten the leg, you can take an in-breath. It doesn't matter so much when you take the in-breath and when you take the out-breath. It's more important that we synchronize the movement with the breath. So it's the sense of the breath being harmonized, or the body being harmonized with the breath. And even if I'm hoping that you've got a sense still of that point at the back of the thigh, but if you can't sense it, keep it in your mind's eye. Think of it as an imaginary exercise that we're stimulating that area, the hold and support. Very middle part of the back of the thigh and the crease where the buttock meets the leg. We're going to take the foot out to the side now. So keep a grip on the belt, but we're holding the belt with the right arm. And I'm assuming you've got your right leg back, by the way. Otherwise, it will be the other arm. And then we're letting the foot move out. Take it slowly. And remember, it doesn't have to be fully extended, the leg. We can just, bring quite a big bend into the knee. But we don't want to lift off the left leg. We want to keep that left hip, knee aligned. So it's all about the right leg. We're opening up the inside thigh and the groin area. And you can come in and out of that stretch, so bending, so you're coming into more passive stretch and then straightening and more active stretch. Keep breathing. And one more breath here. If you want to slide the left foot away, you can do that, by the way. But make sure that we're focused on keeping the hip down, the thigh down, the toes of that left foot point up. We're not rolling out to the right side. But we're going to come up, take it slow, smooth. We're going to take the belt in the other hand. We're going to take quite a large or big twist to the other side. So very smoothly, bringing the foot down. So in fact, for this stretch, we are bringing the whole of the right buttock up. And we're bringing the right hand, arm out to the side. So I'm looking the wrong way, but your head, your gaze follows your right hand, or maybe just up to the ceiling if you're next to it. Now, try and keep the left leg straight and balanced, so it's not kind of rolling over with the right leg. And of course, you can bend the knee. It's quite a big, intense twist. I'm going to come up in a minute. So to come up, because it's a big, quite heavy thing, the leg, I'm going to bend the knee, and that will just take a little bit of intensity out of it as you come back to centre. We're holding on to the belt and bending the knee so that we're taking a sort of happy baby shape, half a happy baby shape, with the knee pressing out to the side and down. So the knee presses down, but can you push into the belt with the foot? So you've got a feeling of almost moving in two directions, down with the knee, up and away with the foot. We're going to finish by bending the left knee and placing the right foot over the left knee. You can put your belt down. We're gently pressing the right knee away. And that is going to open the hip in a slightly different way. Keep some flexion in the foot. Now, just one little detail that I learned, I'm going to show you. Sometimes you see people's feet moving out to the side, sort of like that. And in fact, that's not ideal for this pose. You want to have the foot even, so that there's no kind of I think they call it aversion when the foot goes out. And that's much better for the knee. So if you've got any knee issues, keeping the foot nicely aligned, so there's an even length from the bone of the inside ankle to the bottom of the foot, as the outside ankle to the bottom of the foot. So yeah, just bear that in mind. It's better for your knee. So we're going to pick up the left leg and hug the knee, or hug the back of the thigh. Or if that just doesn't feel right, if that's jarring at all on the knee, then bring the foot down. But if you are holding the left leg and it's quite comfortable, you could maybe go a bit further, lift the head. Hug everything in. Roll around. And then coming all the way down, dropping the feet back to the floor. Feet go wide, the knees press together. Hands come back to the belly. Pausing now to sense this, all the sensations down that right side. I'm hoping there's going to be quite a big flood of feeling into the right side as you release the leg. So allow yourself to feel that completely. Introception it's called, and it's so interesting. It's very good for your mental health to have that ability to kind of zone out into the body, away from the head and the worries and preoccupations of the mind. And it's, you know, it's been proven that the thinking mind, which can also be the worrying mind, goes offline when you're in that state of introception. So we're doing the other side. We're bending the left knee. You'll need your belt, so put it to one side so you can grab it. Create a little hammock with your hands, so interlacing the hands and bring them into the back of the thigh. So it's that quite high up on the thigh where the hip crease meets the thigh. Sorry, bum crease meets the thigh. And then drop the weight of the leg into the hands. If you couldn't hold it with your hands, if that felt like too big a reach for your arms, you could use a belt here as well. That would be another way to do this. So we're just trying to put some pressure into the back of the thigh. So again, it's that point, it's on the bladder meridian in Chinese medicine. And we use this point to, well, there's lots of benefits, but to release, relax the lumbar spine for things like sciatica. And then, yeah, just enjoy that. We can also apply pressure just through our fingers. You can kind of release the hands and then press in to the area, just stimulating this area. And then we can start to work the hands up the leg, releasing any bits of tissue that feel sore. You can go quite firm, but also it's not about necessarily being very firm. You can be very effective with not so much pressure. And also bringing in a little bending and straightening of the leg. Moving up towards the ankle, hold the ankle. If there's a bit that feels particularly needy, then focus in on that area. If it's, you know, the knee, and just pressing around the knee. So we're going to use the belt, go from deeper to more active stretch. Belt move is over the ball of the foot. We're going to spread the toes, extend through the ball of the foot, extend through the heel. And hopefully you're going to feel, as you go deeper into the stretch, the line from all the way down into the back of the thigh, the very topmost part of the thigh. As you're holding the belt, don't tense up in the shoulders. If you're finding that your shoulders are bringing tension into this or adding tension into this, then find a way of adjusting the grip on the belt so that there's less tension. Connect with your breath. So the breath is harmonizing with your movements, bending and straightening, breathing in, breathing out. So I'm learning a lot about connective tissue. So connective tissue is the stuff that isn't the bones, the muscles. It's all the other stuff that joins us up, that holds us together. And in the past, when we experience pain, and very often this is still the case, people go and have x-rays and things, and there's nothing in the musculoskeletal system to suggest pain. And yet people feel pain. And more they're understanding that unexplained pain, whether it's back pain or leg pain or knee pain, is connective tissue. And it's usually caused by loss of movement, loss of flexibility in the connective tissue. So these stretching actions are really hugely good for the connective tissue. We're going to take hold of the belt. We're going to grip it in the left hand. We're going to move the left foot out to the side. You can have the right knee as it is, or if you want to straighten up the right leg, go for it. And of course, you know, it can be very gentle. It doesn't have to be a big movement. You can bend the knee. There's loads of options for making this less intense. But equally, if you want a stronger experience, you can kind of really press down through that right thigh, press down through the foot, press out through the heel of the left foot. Feel those deep stretches on the inside thigh, the groin. Release your grip a little if you're finding that you're holding tension or adding tension into the shoulder area. We're going to come up, so just take your time, slowly. Bend the knee if it helps, because it's quite a heavy old thing, a leg, so you don't necessarily want to have the whole weight of the leg. When you bend the knee, it's just a bit easier. So we're going to hold the belt with the other hand. We're moving the foot to the other way. So we're taking a twist. We're going to take the left arm out to the side, shoulder height, or maybe not quite that high if your shoulders are tight. But start with shoulder height. Pressing down through the left shoulder, arm. So it is a very big twist. The left buttock comes all the way off the floor. And your gaze either up to the ceiling, or you could follow the opposite arm. So you move away, your gaze follows. So your gaze goes to the left, away from the foot. And you can, like, sort of really press down through that shoulder. Keep breathing. We're going to come up in a moment, so bend the knee, bring the foot back up. And we'll do half happy baby on this side, so we're bending the leg again, knee comes out to the side. You can hold the foot if you want to, but I quite like the belt because it does make it a little bit easier on the shoulder, even if you can very comfortably reach for the foot. Just gives you a bit more room for the shoulder and the arm. So more dynamic, if you want more dynamic, is to press out through the right foot, really dig the heel down into the floor and push it away. You can also lift the foot. Well done. So we're going to come out, we're going to bend the right knee, we're going to cross the left leg over the right knee. We can put the belt down now. So relaxing that left leg and gently, gently pressing the knee away or the thigh away. And remember, we try and keep the foot aligned. So there's not, I think they call it aversion or inversion of the foot. So not letting the foot roll to one side. So that you've got an evenness between the outer ankle and the sole of the foot and the inner ankle and the sole of the foot. Because if you invert, you shorten the inner ankle. If you avert, you shorten the outer ankle. And that actually, it might be very, very subtle, but it does kind of slightly create an imbalance of the knee and the muscles around in the ligaments and things around the knee. So this may be where you would stay, or you can, if you want, pick up the right leg and hug the knee in, shin, knee. You can roll around, you can roll back and forward. You can pick up the head. You can press your nose up towards your knee, your right knee. And then we're going to release everything. So let the feet drop down. Let the feet then extend away. So we've got straight legs. And we're just going to pick up the feet and really press out through the feet. You could use your hands to support you here because it is quite strong. So the feet aren't coming up very high, and we can lift up our head. And then the hands can lift up and we're reaching towards the feet with our hands. And we're really scrunching up the front of the body. Squeeze the thighs together. It's we're really engaging muscles here, working quite hard here. And then flop back to the floor. We'll do that once more. So pick up the feet. Doesn't have to be very high. You can use your hands to support you. Lift the head. If you're comfortable to lift the hands, you can do that. Squeeze the thighs together. And then come down. Completely relaxing the weight of the body. So that was very much engaging the front body. We're going to roll over onto our side, come to lying on our bellies, and feel the action in the back body. I'm really into the cobra at the moment. So head down for now. Slide your hands back so they come around the lower ribs. So you can press your thumbs against your ribs gently, and you can breathe into your thumbs. Feel those ribs moving with the in-breath. Line up your elbows over your wrists. Squeeze your shoulder blades together. Pick up your shoulders so they move up away from the floor. Press down through your pubic bone. Squeeze your inner thighs. And we're going to really squeeze the buttocks and feel the posterior chain muscles engaging all the way up the back. If you need to come down, do, but otherwise, so long as there's no sort of pain, let's just see if we can hold this, squeezing everything together. Press the toes into the floor so you get a feeling of connection through the feet. So really gently squeezing in all those muscles along the spine. And then completely flop down, head down. Relax everything. You can support your head with your hands. We'll do that again. So slide the hands back. Press into the toes. Squeeze your thighs together. Squeeze your buttocks together. Press down with your pubic bone. Engage that feeling like a ripple of feeling up a ripple of sensation up the muscles either side of the spine, engaging them, squeezing the shoulder blades together, lifting up. So we want to feel light around the shoulders, not a sensation, no feeling of the shoulders sort of scrunching up towards the ears. We're working against that impulse. Squeezing the inner thigh, see if that helps you maintain the power. And then flop down completely, head down. We're gonna bend the right leg and let it float around a little bit so that we're not sort of lifting it up in a state of tension. We can use our belt for this actually. We're going to come up onto the forearm of the left arm so that the left elbow and forearm is supporting us. And then we're going to take our belt and loop it around the ankle. So we're going to use the foot to do what we did by the sheer effort with the last stretch. So we're going to engage the foot, flex it a little bit. Bear in mind that we don't want the shortening of either side of the ankle. We want to feel that the ankle either side is even, so not averting the foot, neither are we inverting it. So flex, and then we're going to press away with the foot. So the foot is going to lift the front body, but we're still supported by the left arm. And we can help that movement a little bit by squeezing the buttocks. We can enable the movement, squeezing the thighs, feel those posterior chain muscles up the back of the spine. And a sense of the shoulders moving back, as we did earlier, by our own effort, by the efforting through the hands, arms, back and down. Keep breathing. And then let everything drop back to the floor. Head supporting your hands, or hands supporting your head, sorry. We're going to the other side, so is that okay for your knee, by the way? Yeah, because I'm aware that it's not everyone's favourite for the knee, so I guess you're just going to do less. So we're supporting ourselves with we're lifting the left foot, we're going to support ourselves with the right forearm, So move it around to find the optimum position so you can kind of really lean into that forearm. Let the foot float up, let it be a little bit floppy so that we're not, you know, lifting it in a great state of tension. And then we're going to use our belt, loop it around the ankle. Engage the foot. Press back into the belt. So the foot is pressing into the belt, and that will trigger a little reaction where you lift the front of the chest. Shoulders pull back. And you can enable or help that movement, upward movement, with the inner thighs, the glutes, pressing down through the pelvis. Sorry, pubic bone. Squeezing the muscles up the back. Squeeze your shoulder blades. Keep breathing. And then release and let everything go. We're going to roll onto our sides. We're going to come all the way up to sitting. You can be cross-legged or kneeling, whatever you prefer. So keep your belt nearby. We're going to, let me think, we're going to hold the belt in the right hand. Oh, sorry, I just had a mental block. Yes, we're going to, oh, sorry, I'm just trying to think what we're doing. Yeah, we're gonna loop the belt round the right arm, and we're going to hold that belt with the left hand. So looping it around just above the elbow or higher up. So you could, I know it's possible, very easy for most people, for many people, to hold the arm, but we're not going to do that because we're trying to create a bit of space so that there's not that sort of straining and excessive contraction of trying to reach the arm. So that should create an easy feeling in the shoulder. So you can easily use to get the grip of the arm, the right arm. So now we're just going to we're going to gently move forward with the right hand. So the palm is up, and we're just gently moving forward. And as we do that, pressing the shoulder blade of the left arm into the spine. And it's hopefully a sort of a melting in rather than a real sort of mechanical movement, a sense of sort of shoulder blade melting back. And then we're going to do the opposite movement. So we're going to tug a little with the left arm, squeezing the elbow more towards the torso to draw the right shoulder back. And that right arm can kind of resist that a little bit. So you've got a little bit of a conversation going. But any friction should feel therapeutic as opposed to, you know, like major strain. Because we're wanting to just educate the shoulders to their happy alignment so that they're not all hunched up or rolling in. So that's what we're trying to do. And then let's just relax the arms down, release the belt. Palms can rest facing up. Pausing. We'll do the other side. So we're going to loop the belt around above the elbow, and we're reaching for it. So the idea of the belt is that you can get that comfortable grasp on the arm to manipulate it a little bit, but not excessively, and so that there's no tension added into the shoulders from getting that grip. So we'll turn the palm up off the left arm, and we're going to kind of move forward a little bit. And the belt is going to, the right arm is going to pull back. So we've got a feeling of gently educating that shoulder. And then as you pull forward, you're moving the right shoulder back. So as the left hand moves forward, right shoulder moves back. And as the right hand pulls on the belt, left shoulder moves back. It's quite gentle. And we're aiming for a sense of the shoulder blade melting in. So not a mechanical movement, more of a soft sort of feeling. Melting in towards the spine. And we can see if we can get something similar on the right side. So the left arm moves forward. And the right. Quite subtle. And then let's just release. So release the hands, release the belt. Sit with the sensation. Going to come on to the soles of the feet now. So we're taking a squat. So if you want to sit on something, if that's hard on the hips, otherwise let the bum hover. Bring your fingertips to the floor. We're letting the bum drop down. So it's really trying to let gravity do the job here. So there's that contrast of the light fingertip pressure and the heavy weight of the, relatively heavy weight of the bum. Not suggesting you've got a fat ass, but keep dropping down, dropping down. Breathe into the back of the body. Sensing the stretch, the connective tissue. There's all the stuff that isn't the bone, the muscle, all that stuff that holds us, glues us together, that more and more is so considered to be so important to our health. In the past, it was sort of seen as a bit of a, like the packaging in an Amazon box, something you just bin once you've picked out the item. But now there's a recognition that we need to care for our connective tissue. It's very much a passive stretch. You can let yourself come a bit lower in the front body. So one way to do that is to bring your forearms closer to the floor. You could use a block here, something to lean into. Resting your forearms. Drop the head. We're going to come up into a forward bend. So lifting yourself up. And if after that we'll take a downward dog. So you might want to come lengthways on your mat if you're not already lengthways. So again, you can have a block under your hands to make it a little gentler. Take the feet as wide as your mat so that the toes, some of the toes come off the mat. And bring your hands to the midline so that they're, exactly midway between the feet. We're going to press into the right hand and we're going to turn the body, lift that left arm. So the left arm doesn't have to come all the way up. You could just lift the elbow. It could come fully, extend if you want, but the more important thing is to have a sense of the shoulder blade on that left side. The hips aren't moving too much. The hips are staying still. You can squeeze your inner thighs together to keep a sense of being stable in the lower body so that there's not too much movement there, and a feeling of rotation from above the waist. Your gaze can follow the arm. And then come down. Swap. Just going to turn to the other side so I can see you. Swap hands. So again, keep that quite stable foundation. It's the reason for that is so that we can really feel the movement in the upper back. It's not that anything terrible would happen if you let your hips roll out, but it's just we're trying to work into the upper back. Feel the shoulder blade on the right side, gently pressing in. If you want to fully lift the arm, you can, but I feel like it's more interesting to keep the arm bent. And then we're coming down. So you can put your block to one side, walk the feet back. So we're taking a long downward dog. Bend the knees if you need to. So we'll just finish with a little sequence of downward dog, plank, gentle plank, and child pose. So we are going to swing our shoulders forward over the wrists. Bring the knees down if you need to. From this position, really feel those abdominal muscles. So earlier we were lying on our backs, we lifted our head and so that we could really feel the front body engaged. So we're going to do that now. Obviously it's not quite the same shape we're making, but it's the same feeling we want. A little rounding of the back so you activate all the front body. And then all the way back to child pose. Keep the arms active, tuck the toes under. So it's not really a resting pose. Arms quite active. Tuck the toes under. When you're ready, lifting up. So keep bending the knees as you come into downward dog. Keep breathing here. Let your shoulders move over your wrists. again, so we're coming into plank. If you want to bring the knees down, do that. Otherwise, you can stay up in full plank. So a little bit of rounding of the back. It's not that that's necessarily how you always want to do a plank, but it's a great way to feel those front body muscles, you know, activate. And then come back to child pose. But still, it's still quite active. We're not relaxing the arms here, we're keeping them long. Open up the armpits. Head down. Press into every joint of the hand. And then when you're ready, picking up the bum, the hips, come into downward dog. Lift your heels, you can bend your knees, you can lift your hips. Pushing the floor away. And one last time coming to plank. So, and again, a little rounding of the back. You can have your knees down. Feel those abdominals from the pubic bone, the bony front part, all the way up to the sternum. And the inner thighs can be part of that as well. Obviously, it's not the same group of muscles, but they talk about the inner thighs being a preliminary for your core strength. And then we'll come to rest, take a child pose, and you can completely rest here. So bring the head down. If you want to support it with a block or something, cushion, you can. And a little softness in the arms. Bending the arms a little. Relaxing the face, the jaw. So, experimenting with different sorts of movement. A lot of contraction there, but all the more important now to have the complete release, so the complete sort of letting go, letting the body flop. Jaw, cheeks, tongue. So when you're ready, you can come to sitting. We'll just take a comfortable seat again. We're going to take a little side bend, so let the left hand slide away along the floor. And the right arm can come up. And we're making it quite a fluid movement. So the movements we were doing there were quite, precise in a way. So very important to have more innovative movements. You can let the arm float around. That's also really good for fascia. And we'll go all the way to the other side. You can turn your chest a little bit up towards the ceiling. And then coming up to sitting when you're ready. We're going to bring our hands together and just rub them together. Create a little bit of heat. Generating prana or chi energy, and then we're pressing the palms over the eyes. Completely relaxing, using the pressure over the eyes to completely relax the tissues of the eye. And just notice that we don't want tension to creep into the shoulders here. So you kind of readjust if you think that that's making a bit of tension. Darkness. The eyes need darkness. And also there's this amazing connection between the eyes and the brain. I think something like 40% of the brain powers the eye. So when we relax the eye, we can relax the brain. And the nervous system. We're going to take our thumbs and we're going to press them up into this little cavity where the eyebrow meets the nose. This little cavity in there. You could use your forefingers as well, but I think the thumbs feel better. It's a bit more fleshy. You can press in, find the little cavity. It's not a huge area. And then let the weight drop onto the thumbs. You can roll the head a little bit. We're lifting our head. We're going to make fists. We're going to bring the fists under the cheekbone. And drop the weight of the cheeks onto the hands. Really go for it, let the whole weight of the head come down. Great bone hole, it's called. It's a stomach point. So really allow that full in-breath. And then we're going to come up, we're going to take a Shavasana. So get your whatever gear you need for Shavasana. Eye cushions, nice, something under the head. Maybe something under the legs. And what you're doing in Shavasana is you're practicing letting go, so getting out of the way, basically, of your body's amazing capacity to heal and restore, regenerate. So just sort of scanning
the body now for any bits that are holding on, any clenching, any tightness, and just softening into those areas. And the breath can be a really good technique for that. So eliminating, think of our breath as elimination, removing toxins, which is partly why we have those longer exhales. Head and torso heavy. Arms and legs heavy. Surrendering the body. And the mind, so if there's a nagging thought or something that's passing through, just sort of let it pass. And letting yourself be drawn more and more into that sense of the flow of life within the lymph, the blood, the prana or chi. The breath. So if you're ready to come back, you can begin to bring some small movements back into the body. If you're not ready, please don't feel like you have to, because it's quite nice to just rest for longer sometimes. So do please stay where you are if you need longer. If you wish, you can roll onto your side and rest on your side for a moment. And then slowly, smoothly come up. sitting. Take a different mudra. We're going to just bring the thumb to the fourth finger. Back of the hands resting against the legs. It's said to be earth, connecting you to earth, so that the fingers can extend downward. Crown of the head is lifted. And then I'm going to finish just pressing with our hands together, but not crushing them together. So there's a little bit of sense of space, fingertips lightly connecting, but a sense of space between the hands, as though you're holding something quite cherished, pressing into the sternum, into the chest bone. Take a breath here. And then lifting your hands to press the thumbs against your third eye. And yeah, let the weight of the head drop forward.